While I may be considering a number of things, I do know where I land on this. It's trite but true. The path to hell is paved with good intentions. Last week, Justice Stephen Breyer announced his retirement from the Supreme Court, and with it, offered President Biden the opportunity to nominate his replacement. The president has pledged to select the next justice of the Supreme Court first and foremost based on their race and sex. Particularly, the candidate must be a woman and they must be black. He made a similar promise with regards to his VP pick while campaigning for president in South Carolina. And while this statement helped gain him the endorsement of Representative Jim Clyburn, the House Majority Whip and former chairman of the Black Caucus, which likely helped him secure the presidency, when it comes to the Supreme Court, was this statement necessary? Knowing that he will easily get his nominee confirmed, the president could have just as easily nominated a female person of color without taking a virtue-signaled victory lap. The leading candidates for a nominee within the confines he set could be Justice Leondra Kruger of California Supreme Court, U.S. Circuit Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, U.S. District Judge Michelle Childs, and/or Circuit Judge Eunice Lee, all of whom would have been worthy candidates without the justified belief that they were primarily being chosen because of the color of their skin. A significant shame is that short list is not exhaustive, as there are many women of color more than qualified to sit on the Supreme Court. But President Biden, well, he'll cause true damage to the court in perpetuity as it opens the door for the court to officially become a vehicle of identity politics and political persuasion. Justices are lifetime appointments, and an individual chosen with the public perception that they were a trophy pick, well, that'll cast doubt on future rulings for literally a lifetime to come. Furthermore, the president has set his criteria for selection based on factors that are actually illegal for businesses and institutes of public education to utilize. I'm a business owner, and I hire individuals based on their ability to perform the job, bar none. And if I were to attempt to hire individuals based on their race, gender, or sexuality to fill a quota rather than to perform functional duties, well, it's both illegal and ignorant. There could be more qualified candidates that I'm excluding from consideration merely because of melanin content and reproductive organs. The consequence of this criteria is that it offers up the possibility that the right person for the job, well, they may not be the one who gets the job. We needn't look further than the current vice president, who as a candidate for the Oval Office amassed less than 1% of the eligible vote, yet because she was part of a short list based on exclusionary factors of skin color and gender, 99% of the country is now left to question whether she actually had the qualifications for the job, or was she simply the best of the surface level of qualifications that were outlined. Discrimination is real and has been an awful part of our nation's history and sadly still part of our society today. For too long, women and persons of color have not had the opportunities they should have had because of these factors. And as such, we as a society, well, we've lost out on the best of the best. That must stop. But when the president asserts that in his attempt to overcome discrimination, he is making his picks based on specific, unrelated factors and not the right person for the right job, well, he sets the cause back even further by creating a more discriminatory situation. It's important to note that there has never been anyone of Asian descent on the court or Native American descent either. Should they not be afforded the same opportunity to serve, which they have now been excluded from because of their heritage? The horseshoe effect asserts that the further you try to push along a linear political continuum, the further back you end up returning to it. In an attempt to ensure diversity of thought, experience, and worldview by only selecting someone based on the immutable characteristics of their sex and race, you are discriminating against other people based on the immutable characteristics of their sex and race. And while it's illegal for every other facet of American life to discriminate against your fellow citizen based on factors over which they have absolutely no control, it's not illegal for the president to do so. But it is wrong. I'm excited to see that we will indeed have a woman of color on the court. Diversity is needed throughout society and on the Supreme Court. But the way that President Biden has gone about this, it's wrong. And that's a shame. And quite frankly, it's unfair to the justice that will ultimately be appointed. Just as you know not to turn away a candidate or colleague or friend based on their skin color, gender, or sexual orientation, you don't pick them based on these things either. finding myself on the right side of things. I'm Seth Denson.